Mhm.
Hey folks, welcome back, or welcome, whatever. How do I start normally? Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. Yes, that's it. So today I have a co-host that is Vika. For those who don't know her, it's silent_monk. If you wanna check her stats, don't bother. Frankly, she didn't even qualify for the Latvian team. Whoops, I let it slip. Sorry. So banter aside, the first match we'll get to witness today will be Portugal-Japan, and then in an hour, Brazil-Chile will start as well. Quite likely there will be overlap, so at least we'll cover the later match in the decider stage, I'd say. For Portugal-Japan, both won their opening matches. The Portuguese squad was a bit more convincing by dispatching Sweden with a 5-0 sweep, and Japan had their share of problems against Uruguay. Today, I wouldn't pick Japan, actually. I might pick Portugal. That, though, depends on a few specific duels to go their way. So for one, Glovia on table 2 absolutely has to win against Nanataku. This 5-6-6 doesn't mean that much. Nanataku actually is a master, one of 3 masters for Japan today. The other one would be Kithara and Setsugentu. And Leo on table 5 would be my favorite for Portugal as well. And on the other tables, I'd rather favor the Japanese players. The most lopsided I would expect on table 1, I don't see Pyra winning there. So all in all, everything between, let's say, a 4-1 for Portugal or 4-1 for Japan is up in the air. Let's just hope for a close match. I'd like to start with table 3, as that should be nominally the highest ceiling for both players. As not new at this is a master as well, and then we'll go from there and check the other the other duels as well if the situation warrants it. So if I get the stuff opening, let's go here.
I think Japan is gonna win.
Okay, and let's say I'd say overall Japan may be a 55% favorite or so, and just to make it more interesting, let me pick Portugal.
Okay.
With I'd say a 3-1 for Portugal.
Mhm.
Hey Juan. So what are we having? Both closed small cities. Very interesting, huge city in the making.
Yeah.
But
Would
of
you
course,
protect? Oh, okay.
Blue hopes to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question of protection is a valid one.
But you don't want to do that usually. Add a city
Of course, you
your
don't want
opponent's
to
city.
do that. You never want to help your opponent closing a city, but if you lose this here, it will be really, really tough for yellow. Losing an early meeple for 1 point, not 0, of course. Definitely not an ideal start. But now he gets to protect, and not just protect, but also rope Blue's meeple in. Sure, the situation is still better for Blue as they have the open part of this city, whereas Yellow, of course, is completely encapsulated, but we'll see how this will turn out.
2 more cows. So.
Yeah, 2 more cows, but also 2 splitters. So it's definitely the upper hand for Blue. But we'll
Yellow
see.
can't add extender to the city cap because it has been restricted.
Yep, this does not work, but they will place it just on the left side, which then opens up other options for blue, like connecting here and later trying to restrict this square if they don't happen to get a splitter, that is. Let's check. Alva, Kenta are now starting as well.
Field meeple? No. Later.
Come again? Field meeple?
Yeah,
no,
I thought what
no,
Keeler is thinking about.
No. Yeah, maybe he thought whether to meeple the field, but I don't think that's necessary. Not for a 6-point field, not as long as there are options like the horse out there, and that would totally curb this field. So I don't think that's worth the meeple investment. Maybe they thought about meepling on the right side of the road, though. That would be another question and might be worth their while, but there will be chances to do that later on. For now, maybe this is okay. The problem would be giving yellow the straights to connect. On the other hand, trying to contain this field would be a valid approach. And they try to do this. Now they meeple because now this
green
field
squares
has potential.
Yeah. And immediately it pays off.
And this immediate move by yellow without taking a second, whether to connect or not, I don't like it that much. On the other hand, it's quite likely the right choice, as the potential for blue to grow their side of this, well, let's say ruin, because I don't see this becoming a city, is definitely limited. If there weren't a straight here and you could place triple city tiles, then that would be a different case, but I think this was fine, especially when you then had options to restrict the road down to the starting tile. Did not work. On the contrary, it just works marvelous for blue here. If they manage to run away with this 12-point city, or even more, depending on shields, that would just be a nice boost for their chances. We have more predictions in the chat. So Kaika says 3-2 Portugal, and Matt, aka Lazy Boar, predicts 4-1 Japan. Vika, you didn't mention a specific score, so please correct.
3-1? 3-2.
Okay, 3-1 would be a first. 3-2 Japan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody take note, please. At least let's I mean, in the end, I don't care how these matches turn out, as long as we get to witness interesting games. That is what I'm gunning for. Interesting and preferably on a high level, because I don't like really to see a lot of blunders. That's more annoying, actually, in most cases, although sometimes good content as well. So there is one extension of blue's city part. Maybe these 2 points in the end will be the decisive factor. We'll see. For now, yellow tries to create new cities at the bottom. There are still both road monasteries out there, so they might very well land on a field. in yellow's possession. We'll see. Although might be more likely to use the road monastery here, for example, but we'll see. Or maybe there, due to possible restrictions here. We'll see. Now blue goes for this one, which
and yellow
actually,
got the monastery.
Yeah, and there's the road monastery. And again, I'm not really that convinced it's the better option than this one, due to this road here and then possible field extension, but we'll see.
Blue could have equalized because he has more meeples.
Could have equalized what?
The field.
The field.
Yeah.
Yes, at the bottom. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'm not convinced was Kithara's Dorito here. I get in most circumstances that might be a valid approach, but when there are loads of the tiles gone that you need to close that city, and there's only one dagger left of the right-handed variety, I don't really think that is the move when there are still 4 of the triple cities remaining. But looks like he prefers to at least have a 50-50 shot at closing a city rather than possibly being killed due to the quad being gone.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason why he went with this approach. I don't think this was
way
correct,
to score
though.
2 points. Yeah, because he's adding the thread to the city cap.
Yep, that is a good idea. All 3 twin caps are gone, so there would be nothing to save yellow's small city.
The scoreboard lead is crazy right now.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
If you get away with stuff like that. As promising as this horse, this cow looked to curb both the road and Blue's fields, it did the exact opposite in the end. So definitely a good tile run out for Blue.
But also yellow was without meeples for a while and lost a bunch of quick points. So
yeah, that as well. Yeah. But it's not over. It's 17 points right now. Yellow takes a 9-point field. Solves this situation quite nicely. Blue might just connect now to take 4 points. I mean, they could, in theory, also go for the field, but why fight for a 9-point field and risk this here getting even larger and then being taken over by yellow somehow, and then your meeple would be worth 0 points. Just take the 4. Sure, there's still a way for yellow.
Wow, such a good
take it over again. But yellow, of course, would rather pad their field. Yeah. Nice monastery. Why not? It's 8 points. There are still 2 tiles liberated, especially now that you shared this ruin. No biggie adding more points to it. Yeah, so overall, with 22, this lead is really tough to overcome for yellow. But we could construct stuff like closing this road, building a loop here to unite the fields, and
but
maybe
Blue
then
has 2 meeples that are easy to connect. Yeah,
that's the problem. And then something to take over this stuff, but I mean, that's just, I mean, quite likely won't work. That is an approach, but we're talking about a 7-point gain that doesn't move the needle enough when you're down at -20. Yeah.
Just quick points. Keeping yellow without additional meeple.
Yeah, definitely not
Yeah.
liberating the monastery, that's for sure. Blue plays in such a way to keep their fields separated, and why not? Currently, it's to their benefit by having this city scoring double. So yellow takes over the ruin. Well, then the cow will be extra crucial because it would take away 4 points from blue and add them to yellow's score. And yeah,
for
that would
blue,
be
it's
annoying.
crucial because he would get back the monastery meeple.
Yeah. This as well. So definitely a critical tile here. And it would be a huge swing, actually. So yellow would take 9 points, 4 points away from blue. Going to them, that's 8 plus 1 point for the cow itself. And then they'd be at -4, and -4 is manageable, especially when there are still caps out there to add more to your field. And Kithara, with only 1 meeple in hand, can't really justify attacking this one. And frankly, shouldn't. Because even if he were to lose this side of the city, which is only a 50-50, he'd still be in the lead and still have a good shot at winning this one.
The urge to meeple the monastery, but it's the last meeple. He absolutely shouldn't.
Yep. It's too early, but I mean, there are still 2 straights out there to get a meeple back, but I couldn't justify taking this monastery now. Not when there are still, again, the caps out there. And what's else? Well, a horse to take a few quick points. But he takes the monastery, banking the game on drawing one of the straights ASAP.
The monastery is kind of completable, but that's 3 tiles.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see it. He'd have to use the curves, and why use a curve for 1 point if you could use it for 3 up top? And again, a straight would go here anyway. So let's see. And Kisara might even put a lid on that monastery with this curve now. On the other hand, he might also just take this field.
He can do that later.
Yes, he could.
Oh, okay. He does it now.
Okay, he chooses the other spot to have 2 connections here, and still the possibility to connect there if this fails. Yes, he could do this later, sure, but for what should he wait? He also has 2 tiles to get a meeple back, and if yellow gets a meeple back, blue would do as well. So why not take this now that you can, now that you have one of a few ideal tiles, and later you might get stuff which you can't use to attack the field.
Yeah.
So I think the timing for blue was spot on with their lead, of course.
And the monastery restriction is just not a priority because like it's not gonna get completed at this point.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
just a wasted move.
Yes, more or less. And other games are, wow, close all over the board as expected.
Do you think blue is gonna attack the big ruin?
No.
Mm.
No. Not with only a 50-50 shot. I mean, the only chance currently would be this one with only a 50-50 shot at connection and a 13-point lead. I mean, why would you ever do this? The worst that could happen is, again, losing 9 points, but you'd still have 2 versus 1 meeples and 4 points, and you're the starting player. So why would you ever do that? I mean, claiming 5 points might be just the way to go. Else, might go for 4, going for the connection with more tiles than just the monastery. There's no cap left, so leaving the open one at the bottom doesn't matter. But in the end, I'd put my money on taking 5 points now. That would be sufficient. That is also an idea, yes.
Yeah, 2 tiles to connect.
Yeah, 2 tiles to connect, but 1 tile to kill both connections. Because there's no road monastery left, and the monastery would be needed over here to connect. But even if that were to happen, who cares? We still had plus 16. Yeah, why not? Why not take the 5 points and let yellow have the field in the middle? Who cares? Yes, sure, they take away the 6 on the right side, but it does not matter in the end. Frankly, blue could have done whatever they desired. Quite likely, this was long gone. Well, except for this. What's the end? Minus 14. Yeah, still. It's just too large a gap. Mostly since this development up top. Again, to me, a bit of a dubious placement, but if it works, that's the first win for Kithara here, and I would have never picked this game to end first. Is there still an end game we need to cover? Well, there are only 1 or 2 tiles left. Let's see. Okay, looks like Leo won on table 5. And Glovia might win on table 2. Let's check this one out. Is there still anything big happening? This connection here is dead. The city won't complete. Yeah, then Glovia will win this one. And Sporta quite likely will lose the first one, and then we could check out the endgame of Kenta and Paiva. So any magical tiles still in the deck? Let's see. The city is dead. This as well, of course. And with twin caps, he can't even mount a field attack of
He can,
sort,
he
I guess.
can meeple
Although he
6-point
might.
field at the bottom.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at -11.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would, in theory, even be possible to close this one, but the dagger just isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, else there might have been this option. Although this is a 3-point field, it's not connected, so that does not work. Anything else? I mean, yellow would need to take over this 12-point field to win here. And even that is not enough, because blue would just score the 1-point difference on top with the ruin, and a tie goes to the second player. So yeah, he goes for the field in the end, will add 3 more points, but still lose by 4. No, 3. Okay, then let's switch to Paeva Kenta and circle back to Afonso and Kithara afterwards. Unless this here would be without a shot for yellow, but it doesn't look like it. So we have a field fight in the middle. Currently, a yellow field worth quite a lot. Looks like 6 cities.
I would have actually meepled the monastery as yellow. You get the monastery meeple back, and it's 1 meeple to complete.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might, but the one thing you might have not seen is this blue farmer, which would have allowed a field equalization and the threat of field takeover on the left side. And if you're down 10 points, I don't think there would have been anything to come back from that blunder.
Yeah.
The same goes for taking the shinier 5-point road, which would have also allowed a blue field invasion, and also there's another farmer waiting up top. And now it's only 7 points.
Yeah, blue will connect.
Yeah, blue will connect. The thing I'm questioning is whether this year was even the way to go.
Alternative adding it to yourself?
Yes. That would be the alternative. But the problem is, I think he had to hope that blue misses and just draws a monastery and then could kill this. Because now, with this move and then 2 more left, he faces the task of having to re-attack the field, and with this vanilla, there's just no dice.
Yeah. He's hoping to join the 6-point, merge the 6-point fields and meeple the road with the last straight road.
Yeah, who cares? That's 12 points. We are at -25.
Right, yeah.
I think what was necessary was this one here. Yeah, looks like Paiwa won't win this one. Okay, then let's get back to Kisara. And let me check. Wow.
Yep. 1 tile from completion.
Yeah, but not anymore after this move.
Anymore. Yeah.
maybe we thought about this one.
Yeah, but that's too greedy.
That is definitely too greedy, and that's too
Yeah.
risky as well. Even though there's only one tile left, if that hits, it's game over. Not sure. I mean, yeah, he already needs crossroads elsewhere, but this here invites a restriction,
Yeah.
whereas leaving it as is would have allowed one of these 6 crossroads, that's quite a lot with roughly 30 tiles remaining, to immediately liberate the meeple, whereas now this is down to the 2 regular crossroads. Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right choice. And
Yellow is without meeples again.
yep.
And he needs crossroads everywhere.
Yeah, but at least this time he's up by 13. So here we go. The one thing about this curve I need to mention is there's also an indirect continuation where you don't expose this road to the threat of being blocked into a starting tile or dagger from the right or the top, and still have the option to use a regular crossroads, all at, well, sacrifice of 1 lousy point. So sometimes, especially in a meeple-stricken situation like this, that should be a consideration. Blue restricts the monastery even further. Both road monasteries are gone, so a kill is waiting to happen, and that's why yellow invests.
Oh no,
the
yellow
extender
got
here.
blocked.
Yeah, that's the cost of doing business like that.
Yeah.
And that is also a ripple effect of the curve, and that curve was placed by yellow, and there was no need to do that.
Yeah, so many open city caps and no meeples for yellow. Well, now he finally gets one.
Finally, and maybe it's early enough, but he definitely has to dodge the cow. Or if the cow happens, well, a re-attack here. Actually, a re-attack or another attack by anyone could happen there.
Absolutely.
And
if the city gets finished, it's a lot of points.
It's the game win for the side who will finish this one without the other. That I'm convinced of, at least. Yeah. And there's a thing to be said about an early farmer.
Yeah, 3 points. Most likely will get stuck to it.
Yeah. Very likely. Unless he opens up the field over here or there. But why? I mean, blue would not place something there. Yellow might later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't look good for yellow.
Yeah.
Their 13-point lead just evaporated. And they're hanging on here by a thread, and that thread is the monastery and the cow.
Yeah, breaking blue city, but so now he will complete it and get 4 more points.
Yeah, the jury is still out there, so quite likely there will be a threat. But yeah, he has to. There's only one tile left, and that is the cow.
Mm. Yeah, and
If he
he finds the
doesn't,
move.
there would be the dagger left. So actually, he could have risked it, but then he would have banked the game on 3 tiles, and 3 50-50s to go your way are, well, no, I think he had, no, actually not with these crossroads here.
Yeah.
Can't justify giving blue a meeple back. You have to
Yeah.
take the cap. So it's still the monastery, the cow, and then
9-point field.
9-point
Will
field.
will he go for it now? Last meeple, 6 more tiles.
Yeah, it's the same situation as in the game before.
Mm.
The question is, when do you take the field? And
Yeah.
it's 10 points now, because definitely he would add the 1 to the monastery. So yeah, I think this is it. Hoping to maybe even complete the monastery.
Mm.
There's not a lot else out there to score big. So, I mean,
Is it better from the upside or the left side to add the curve?
on the left, due to this dagger.
Mm.
If you go up top, you can't use the dagger anymore.
Mm.
And if you don't have a meeple in hand, you wanna be able to use the dagger, as you can't claim this cap, of course. So, well, sure, blue could still lose the monastery and the cow in yellow's hands, and yellow will win this one. But they need those 2 pieces, especially even in the right order. Else, the few points blue might be able to add to their cities would be sufficient. I think at +10, the monastery being worth 9, and then there's the 6-point field for the win for yellow. But they need the monastery, and they only have 2 more shots at it.
Yeah. So this is just 1 point for the ruin?
Yeah, or this one. To take away the option to claim this field later with the cow. That is definitely a consideration now. And is there anything else you take away? Yeah, you also take away. That doesn't matter. The 3-point field with the Rotorito, you could use it up top anyway. There is the cow, but it's too early. I mean,
Yeah.
better now than never, sure, because never would equal to a lost game, but it's definitely not ideal. So Afonso has to get the monastery on his next turn, and the chance to do so isn't great. It's 25%. Better now. Now it's 1 in 3. Kisara I think should just add the 2 points here. Do they move the needle? Plus 13 is still not enough against monastery and field. But if he adds this one now,
yeah, then the field
he
can't
can
really
block.
be claimed. Yeah.
At least the 6-point field he could block either this way or this way.
I hope yellow gets the monastery.
No,
and we have a decider.
sorry. The straight could still be used over here for the 6-point field, but the straight would block the dagger. But the dagger could be used for 6-point field up top, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that does not matter. And then it's just the question whether yellow will get the monastery on their next turn or not. If we are not mistaken, that means yellow has a 33% chance of winning this game, and
6-point
it
field.
does not happen. They score 4.
What?
Oh, stop.
He scored 4 points instead of 6?
No. He still has the monastery, and the monastery is worth 9 points.
Yeah.
But as predicted earlier, blue scored 4 points with their last tiles. And these 4 points are crucial. It's just enough. Pizarro wins by 1 point, and a tie would have been enough as well, due to Afonso being the starting player. So it's just a matter of drawing the right tiles.
In the right order.
Cow and the monastery, but just too late. So first dual win for Japan. And then let's pick one of the other games to cover. Looks like rather easy affair for Glovia and Kenta. So let's pick table 4 or 5. Let's check out Leo and U time. Where the Japanese player just took a lead by closing a city, getting the precious meeple back into their hands.
Unclaimed yet.
And the question for Leo is, do you claim it now? It looks like claiming the field now would be an automatic loss. Yeah, well, not an automatic loss, as he technically be up by 3 points, but blue should not have any problems outscoring yellow the rest of the way, as there's no chance for yellow to get meeples back. City is dead, this monastery is dead. Well, this city is still alive. It's not dead. There's either this option or going for this one.
What would you do with the straight road now?
With the abundance of tiles to close this road and take over the field, I think he has to claim the field now, and just whatever you do to get the permutations you need. I don't know. Some folks light candles, others pray. Whatever works for you.
Can the field be reattacked?
Does it help you to tie a field if you're down anyway?
Right.
I don't think so. Although this is arguably the worst for blue to close the city, the road. as this adds another cap on yellow city and at least gives them the chance to add 3 more points, but that is one of the tiles they need to close the city and get a meeple back. Yeah, and the thing I didn't mention is the monastery up top. That's dead due to this square. And there is also no road monastery left, so this field won't expand. And therefore, it does not look like yellow will have a chance. Yeah, this city should be dead after blue's move, as the Dorito was essential to complete the city. And blue might just add the points here or take the 6-point field. I mean, why not actually?
How many tiles blue has after this move?
2? So yeah, table 2 goes indeed to Glovia and therefore the duel as well. And considering this here should be over after blue takes the 6 points, or if you want the 5-point ruin, but I think the 6 points would be more precise, as you even could then expand the field and take the ruin for a gain of another 8 points. Let's quickly switch to Setsu Gento and Sporter. There might be still a win for both possible there.
Wow, 2 more tiles.
Yo, that's close one, although Sporter just took 6 points, but
yeah, 6, right.
that Sugento still has 2 moves. This is 1.
Oh, and he has a chance to get 3 more points.
Yeah, but yellow will kill this option. And even if he were to get 3 more points, a tie is not enough when you're the starting player. So was this the right choice then? Wasn't there something better available? I mean, tough to figure out if you only have the middle left, but maybe they did because their move was instantaneous. Yeah, yellow doesn't bother. I would have liked the stylish 1-point road here. But actually, that would have not been precise, as blue then just would have added 1 point to the monastery. And in this case, it's 3 points for blue, 4 points for yellow. So that was the better move. But is there really nothing blue could have done with this one?
I can't see anything to do for him.
Yeah, I'm afraid me neither. Yeah, I mean, it's the same situation up top.
Yeah.
There's no way to attack the field.
So a decider.
Right, a decider. And on table 5, U-time with plus 12 in the end. And Kenta looks like they will win as expected against Paiva. Yeah, so the Portuguese player has all of them with yellow. The city is dead. Blue's monastery is dead. This one is still alive. The field in the middle is shared though, but at minus 26.
Yeah.
Let's check. So it's 15 points, and we have the city in the middle. But there's only a very cumbersome approach to attack it on the right, on the left side.
Could get blocked so easily.
Yeah, this option on the left side that could also be killed easily. But it is technically at least still possible for yellow to win this game. They would need to close their city up top though, and there's only one cap to do that. And they need to find
what is blue thinking? Oh, okay, I thought he was gonna take the monastery meeple out, but no.
Yeah, he protects the field, or thinks he should protect the field, which I don't think is the right choice. Not when you're up 26 and have the chance to get a second meeple. Because instead of trying to protect, which is not perfect, there would still be the dagger to connect. I'd rather get the second meeple.
It also
whatever.
prevented 6 road points.
Okay, then we are talking. This I did not factor in. Okay, then it has more upside, and I get it. But still, I think he could just take the meeple, score points, and let yellow take the field, whatever, as long as yellow doesn't also take over the city. It is, or should be, blue's game.
I think yellow shouldn't have meepled that city cap.
The one at the top?
Yeah, just 2 points for the road. And no risk.
We didn't witness this cap, so I don't know. Can't really comment on moves that were not visible for me. Likely was this one. So I think they should have, because quite likely they just closed the road and took the cap, and then it was blue creating the problems.
Right.
Actually going a full circle on the city. Yeah, so frankly, it looks like there was nothing yellow could have done to prevent this situation. And at least they get to successfully go for the ninja, get their meeple back, but has only one move left, and there's no way to score 12 points with only one move on this board, at least. So this will be the second duel win for Japan. And let's then get back to either Liu or Sporter. Let's check. So we have a field fight on table 5 brewing. Maybe an imbalance even. And we have a more complicated situation on table 4. So let's go to table 5 to take a closer look there. And if they continue with this speed, we won't even miss that much of the match between Brazil and Chile, which is set to start in roughly 7 minutes. The same goes, by the way, for Argentina, Sweden, which is also a match of, what was it? I think Group B of Portugal, Japan, but we won't cover that one. I would expect the Argentinians to clearly win there. So this one, there's a thing to be said about multiple fields.
Mm-hmm.
That could work out for yellow, but at this point in time, I deem it more likely that blue will win this one field less by just trying to curb yellow's fields, and I don't think this curve here helps yellow at all, not with this direction. Why would you?
He wanted to prevent it to be attacked, but he already has second meeple, so he shouldn't have.
No. It's okay actually. He opens up this field. The problem is,
right. I didn't see that field.
Why do you open up this field where you only have the one meeple when you have, in theory at least, if you connect here, two meeples on the other side of the field, because this here restricts the right field.
Yeah.
I'm
the right
not
field
sure.
is safer.
Yeah, a simple splitter, which Glovier mentions, changes that. And that is this one here, I think. At least if he's live. Or with the, I don't know, 5 seconds delay that I can't prevent. And I'm not sure whether I would prefer the curve turn to the left than for this restriction. But with the splitter, well, then you have more options with the straight to pressure Blue City. Okay, he is live. Good to know. Yeah, so overall, it doesn't strike me as a position that really works for yellow. They need the splitter here, which is the or on the right that Glovier mentions, to close the city, get the precious second meeple back, and also add the city to both their fields, at least currently both their fields. It would definitely be in their interest actually to kill this square now that there's no attack up top possible. An attack over here seems unlikely. Maybe here, let's see, to score these cities on both fields.
Congrats for the win, Glovier.
Yeah, but overall, I definitely rather take blue's position than yellow's in this case. It doesn't strike me as a good setup for yellow, that's for sure.
Do you continue your city as yellow, hope for the splitter?
With 3 tiles to connect, no, 5 actually, if you don't do anything. I said 3 because I might consider this one, hoping for the splitter here, but I'd rather use the splitter on the right side anyway, so
yeah.
Maybe it's even better to go there to prevent a blue attack and just hope to kill this.
Yeah, which is what happens.
Yeah, and that's what yellow goes for, and why not? By the way, nice monastery by blue here.
Yeah.
can't be killed with anything, could only be restricted, so pretty safe one. And on table 5, it looks like Sporta is running away with it, currently leading 63 to 29. Heavy stuff.
Good lead.
Yeah. So it looks like we picked the decider in the end. Yep. What Glovia mentions, preventing the city merger. That is this one, I think, talks about as merging these parts would be a 9-point gain for blue. But even if yellow manages that feat, the meeple situation really is dire.
Really hard to play in meeple minority. Pretty much only quick points.
Yeah, usually with this free farmer setup, it's totally easy to play stuff like that. You just add small caps and close the cities on your field. But where? I mean, there is not much.
Blue could restrict even upwards. But no, he places it.
Yeah,
right.
up top.
He wants to attack.
I don't know. Yeah, he creates this option to attack the city. Not ideal. Not ideal because that would allow blue to restrict the restriction square.
You don't want to place it next to blue's monastery because blue can reattack now.
On the other hand, I mean, some folks would just go for it, which would be a way to win this game. It's just very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
There are only a few specific tiles that would allow to do this without blue's interference.
So what do you do with the cow? Try to add it to blue's city cap, try to point it to the road and block it.
Yeah, that might even be the best idea, because then you have a great option for field Doritos, and you force a decision by blue whether to connect or to protect if they happen to draw a field Dorito, and they absolutely should connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's safer. It doesn't matter if you get blocked.
It's just 9 points, and if you get blocked, well, blue would provide another point at least. Yellow would provide another point to you at least. And you prevent the worst case, which would be them closing the city. Although it's really unlikely. What would have needed to happen is the Dorito here first and afterwards the cow, and quite likely the splitter here first and later the second over here. Although with this one first, maybe they would choose this option. I don't know. Now, though, we'll see. It's still alive. There's still this Hail Mary for later.
And blue got the splitter, the second one, the first one.
Yeah. And I mean, could even go for stuff like this.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. might just give their city a chance, even though it doesn't really justify the investment here due to possible kill, as all starting tiles are gone.
Start a field somewhere? No.
Yeah.
No.
What Glovier mentions is he would have liked this option. Yeah, likely better, but who knows? If you consider that yellow really hasn't a lot of options to pad their fields, and they have fewer meeples at their disposal than blue, so they will have to fight with this meeple minority until the game ends. Quite likely, at least. Maybe at least having this one silver bullet, which is the city, which could still be closed, might be okay, actually. So it's not the worst if blue connects here. At least there is theoretically a chance to still win this game due to the connection. So if you prevent this, sure, it's only a 50-50 shot for blue to connect here. But then they'd quite likely still have an option to close this city even further, pad their lead, and still have the 2 or 3 meeples. So
Yellow can get the meeple back with the road.
this one here, yeah. Sure, now after these crossroads, but that wasn't the case earlier when they had the cow. So it's all very of a rather theoretical nature, but still, yeah, Glovier doesn't think the city is a silver bullet. It might not be, I mean, but it could, in theory.
What's in
Why
Blue's
so
mind
many
right now?
caps?
Is he thinking about connecting Yellow's farmer? No, he isn't.
No, not with the splitter. Never. Sure, you take away 3 points, but you never give blue 2 caps on their field.
That's a good move, because if yellow wants to get the road back, he will need to finish Blue's monastery.
Yeah, indeed. But yellow also found a good move, adding a cap to their field, setting up quick points, pre-closing the road. And another thing that this move accomplishes is that it takes away this option. And, well, the idea of attacking the city this way does not really work. The best shot still would be this one. But then both city ends would be exposed and prone to be restricted into the one and only remaining dagger. So yeah, it really doesn't look great for Leo. And by extension for the Portuguese team. So even though Sporta seems to be mopping the floor with Setsugento in their decider, currently it's 99.53 and just 3 tiles to go. The decider here does not look good for Portugal. So minus 14. The splitter is a must.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully the splitter without blue then getting a
Finishing.
cap
Yeah, the next
afterwards.
move.
Yeah, so splitter and then something.
Mm-hmm.
But this gain wouldn't be that much, but just adding another city would be fine. Problem being you'd create another side field for blue to take.
Yeah.
So frankly, I'm running out of options here. And I
Need to
think
get the curve soon.
instead of this restriction, maybe it would have been time to attack the city. But that's not the prime tile for it. So and I don't think this straight is a good idea in addition. Because if you want to attack the city, it would have been better to pre-protect at least one end. On the other hand, extending this road, which then quite likely would be blues. Ugh. And if you are living and dying by quick points, why not just add the straight to the road here? Would have been 1 point more.
Yeah, quick points for blue.
Yep. But the city is still alive. There's the
And he gets the
splitter,
splitter.
finally.
Yeah, and the blue added 2 more points. The shielded tile, and now it needs 2 more caps. Or 2 more tiles now.
This was the last tile
to
to connect to the city. So this will not be attacked anymore. But now yellow is only at -8. And if it weren't for the rose in blue's hands, I think there was still a shot for yellow, and that first and foremost would be this 7-point move, and then some. This one here. Setting up a 6-point city that would add city points to 2 fields. So this 2-move combo would give you 12.
But yeah.
This is not aggressive enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it would not have worked because blue would have just claimed the 6 points as compensation for yellow's field, but still, if you're down by that much, you have to go for aggressive stuff.
Oh, also, if the 6-point city gets finished, it can the field can get connected with the curve.
Yeah, quite likely with a lot, but I mean, grasping at straws here. So what else? I mean, the problem with this is even if you claim the small city here, what happens? A blue farmer happens, and then you might just lose the 9 or 12-point field or tie. It gets tied, which is enough for blue to win. So, well, with this dagger, it's GG. So, sadly, not as close as many of the other games we saw in this match here. Yeah, blue got the caps, and it's over now. Believes our resident Portuguese master. You have a Neves, aka Glovir, which is dearly missed as co-host. Let me say this once on air. I hope he'll find the time to turn up again. But he's right. It's over. So actually, I could just open the standings and enter the results already.
I was right.
Yes, you were right.
See?
And why not? You took the easy pick.
You could have picked Japan too.
Yes, sure, I could have. But I really believed in Portugal's chances, and why not? I'm pretty convinced if we had witnessed this game earlier, that I might have a few choice words about one of these farmers at least, but who knows? This year strikes me as a rather early one. In a situation where likely this was present first. Yeah, for sure this was present first, so he quite likely closed the city, and this restriction by quite likely by blue was happening. So it looks like, yeah, what have we? Who's starting player? Yellow. So yellow had this one first. Blue took the city.
And the field has a good chance to get attacked.
Blue with this restriction. Yeah, I don't care anymore. Sorry.
Okay.
It's done. I just tried to figure out what happens in the beginning. So blue then restricted, yellow closed the city, and yeah, well, it's a good case actually. You have an open field for 6 points. So let's check the log if this is really what has happened. Stats, I don't care. So yellow with the road, blue with the city. Yellow expanded their road and claimed the city. Blue then restricted. But then we had this development here, and this cap was later, but still, it's fine, I think. So that at least was okay. Well, so one last refresh for Portugal, Japan. Congratulations to Team Japan with their second win by the same score. Again, a close one. Again, they could have lost, but they didn't. And that's the mark of a perennial champion. And I think Japan was champion last year and wasn't even their first WTCOC win, except for 2024 when China won. Japan has won each and every year. This year, though, with this squad, I'm not convinced that they definitely are one of the best teams. They might even just be the third or fourth best team. But we'll see. They still have enough very strong players to win it all again. So, as I said earlier, Argentina, Sweden has started roughly 15 minutes ago, but that should be a fairly easy affair for Argentina. I'd predict a 4-1. So we hop to, what was it? Group G, Brazil, Chile. I actually haven't asked Vika whether she would stay on. Do you?
No, unfortunately, I have to go.
Okay, then it'll only be me, and the closing words for Portugal, Japan are coming from your trusty co-host, silent_monk, aka Vika. Here you go.
Yeah, it was good to see y'all. Bye.
Okay, that's a lot from her. Don't ask anything else, please. Okay, thanks, Vika, for being here, for taking the time. Hope to see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
So, and we switch to Brazil, Chile in Group G. The Chileans, whatever. Team Chile lost surprisingly against Team Belgium in the first week, whereas Brazil had no trouble with Team Vietnam. So another loss for Chile today would surely put a huge dent into their aspirations. So let's take a look. We have Claudio Joquera on table 1 with a 1-0 lead, and everything else is still open. So then let's take a quick look at Besson. If that's close, we stick there for the end game, and it is. So then I'll open the other matches. And wow, there is this field Dorito shaped hole, and there is still a field Dorito that quite likely would secure the win for blue, even if this would also give a few points to yellow, but these points to the monastery and the field are just not enough of compensation for the city points that yellow would lose. So if this Dorito falls to blue, it's game over, and there's nothing yellow could do about it. The city up top by blue is dead at least. All 3 daggers are gone. And yellow has to find a way to even make up for the scoreboard difference of 3 points. They did. But they still need to get a curve. So they need the curve and the Dorito to win this game. Because there is nothing that blue could still do to score more points. And that's why I'm not convinced the monastery was the right choice. Not when there were still 2 caps out there, which could have scored you 10 instead of the 6. But actually, even if yellow connects here, it isn't enough, because the connection only gains them the 6 points, but lose 1 point, lets them surge ahead, and even if they hadn't gotten the vanilla, they would have won nonetheless. So I have to correct what I said. This monastery putting blue up at +6 was their win, actually. So it's what's totally correct. The one thing I, for one, missed is, of course, that yellow already had 3 points on their field, so the connection wasn't worth 9, but just 6, and 6 was the exact difference, and there was no other way for yellow to still score points. So actually, going for the field attack at this point was the mistake by yellow. Looks to me like they should have tried to find another way to first score some points and then attack the field. Which would have been very tricky, but not impossible. So for example, they could have gone for a 4-point loop road and then maybe a ninja attack for 13 instead of the 9 points. Or set up the loop road, hope to get a curve, and maybe do something with the caps instead of trying to take over the field. In any case, this here wasn't the way to win this game. On table 5, Tito took a 1-0 lead. So let's take a look at Berner Vineria, which I would usually expect to be favoring Vineria, but currently it doesn't look that way. Although we have a field fight here, and anything, frankly, could still happen. So we are talking about 15-point field, which currently is in yellow's possession with 3-2 meeples. The third one by blue is waiting to connect here. So that would cover roughly half of yellow's lead. Add just a few quick points and a field takeover by blue, and they still have a chance. Yeah, so Vineria could now protect their connection option, but given that there's only one tile to kill it, and that's the curve, and that's the only one to connect, they don't need to. Instead, trying to go for their city should be the right move. This here does not make any sense to me. I think, I mean, sure, yeah, it might be actually. It protects this option to later on double down on the field attack to then connect with the curve, but two farmers, not just to tie the field, but to take it over for a 30-point swing. And if you're down 27, why not? Problem being, the one and only curve to connect just did go to yellow, and now that blue city here is dead and this city is dead, this city is dead, this square is dead, there is no hope at all for blue to still eke out a win here because they only have the one meeple. So the best they could do is score some quick points and in the end tie the field. But at minus 27, I don't see yellow letting them win this one. So the field is worth 18 now. There are still two caps left. So it could be worth 21 plus the 4 points for the city. Let's give them to blue. That's 25. But they are down 27, and there's an easy approach for yellow to claim a ruin just to take a few more points. So I just don't see it unless yellow does something boneheaded. On table 4, KR won 1-0, not 1-0, took a 1-0 lead against HT Bry. Yeah, so overall, my favorite to win this one would be Chile, but it's again a rather close affair. Vaniria is definitely not one to give up a game as long as there's still a chance, and there is, even if it's minuscule. Okay, likely there was. Now with Burner having the vanilla in hand, killing this one. But yeah, there's still a splitter, so setting this up, not meepling this, I think. Because there were quick point tiles out there and just the one tile to close it anyway. And now Mineria is down 15, but again, the field is worth 18. So they could take a lead by taking over the field, but Berner should be able to use their remaining moves productively to outscore Mineria. Also, both are running down their clock, and that might be even the best news for Vineria, because there are still loads of tiles left to score points, and point scoring animations run down the clock as well, and due to unfortunate BGA stuff, I think they run on your opponent's clock, and they don't. It looks like they fixed it. Wow. And Burner just has to move something. Yes, Glovia, I'm happy if you want to co-host. Well, let me focus on this one first. Wow. Just wow. 2 seconds left on the clock. And 4 seconds for Vineria. I don't think I've ever witnessed a game that was that close to having both players being overtime. I mean, I witnessed players losing by taking too much time, but both being almost in the red. Hefty. So let's take a look. Where to go next? Looks like GD Aruda will win against Claudio on table 1 and force a decider. Let's try and figure out whether that is the case or not. It is actually not the case. Oh, it is the case. As yellow just were able to take over this shared field with their last tile and eke out a win. So then this one is done. Looks like Besson doesn't stand a chance against Adan. Let's take a quick look there. Yeah, no splitter left. This city is dead. This city is dead. And down 28 with the biggest feature to still up for grabs, in air quotes rather, would be this field maybe for 12 points, possibly padding it even a bit more. Yeah, it does not work. And frankly, going there doesn't help Yellow's case. This here could have worked for them, even if it's unlikely. But by adding the starting tile over there, restricting the city, I think they killed their last shot at this one. So let's move on. Let's go to Zetson Tito. And then I need to juggle around the others. Who are we missing? Berna Veneria. Well, this for sure is a close affair. A lot of Yellow's game is riding on this monastery. If they get it, they take away 3 points from Blue's currently separated fields. Also, they could score the 8 for the monastery, 1 for this one. So that would be a 12-point move, likely putting the game away or out of Blue's reach. On the other hand, if Blue gets the monastery, they could unite their field with the bottom one, but that wouldn't give them a lot of points. Equalizing a 12-point with a 9-point field just scores you the 3 points difference, plus in this case 5 points for the monastery or 3 for the road. And it's not a lot, but at -4 it might just be enough by a hair. So we'll see. Definitely the road monastery is ultra critical. That's on straight here had a reason, and that is to take away the dagger there, which would score 10 points for Blue, 3 to both fields and 4 for the city. And now Zetson has a 1-point move available, and the question is, should you attack the field? And I don't think so. He doesn't need to. And Glovia is there. Oh. Hey. Yes, I can hear you. The audience not yet. Let's try whether... Yeah, the link changed, so I just need to copy it and change it, then you should be on. Yeah, I still hear you. Do we have you live? Yes, you're live now.
Right. Hello.
So those who don't know, this is Glovia. It's mentioned actually on the screen. Guilherme Neves, glad to have you on again, my friend. Long
Yeah.
time no see.
To be honest, yeah, long time indeed. I've been having some weeks, so
Yeah.
finally got a break.
Yeah. So what do I have missed? Oh, yeah, the monastery hit for yellow, and that puts the game away. So Setson is able to force the decider here on table 5. And in the meantime, Adan, as I think I've covered, won the second versus Besson as well. So what shall we pick? Oh, let's go to KRHT. HT Bry is, I think, Brian Townsend, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. So scores closed. Always a good omen. Yellow's biggest threat seems to be the city in the middle. Still 2 critical tiles for this one available. One of Blue's threats was this city, but they just were able to close it, which is very good news. The problem for them was they didn't have a meeple in hand and couldn't claim the field, which immediately was done by Yellow as compensation, and quite likely their preference, Blue, gets to fill this evil hamster with a monastery for the 9 points, which is well, the same Blue just took for the field. So all in all, still roughly equal.
Oh.
But there happens the city. And is there still a chance for Blue?
Yeah, I'd find that hard to believe.
It is. They just need to draw their caps. I mean, that's an 8-pointer right there. And this up top, could have also been used to attack. Okay. I don't think that is precise, even if it's a 9-point field.
Just dying Blue was definitely enough.
Yeah, I think so. Although now they are at plus 24, let's deduct the 8 on the left. That would be 16. Field in the middle is 12. If Blue closes that one, yeah, that still have a shot, but it's a very long shot now.
Yeah, and Yellow now does something about that city, so it's still live, but doesn't come with the field attack.
Yeah.
Well, a direct one anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they have to use the vanilla there, and then there is no field attack up top available anymore. Curves are gone, and there's nothing to go then over here as well, so this does not work.
They can still attack in the bottom if they get like a rose tile or the last, or one sealed plus rolled attack. Then
you need the rose here. So
yeah, the rose, not the rose too, but like the Dorito or the triples.
Yeah, that would work. And it actually even sets up stuff like this here to take over the field.
Yeah,
but all this
is having a meeple, 2 meeples at hand actually.
Yeah,
so all this need to get that first.
You need to get the rose first and then stuff, and not straight. That does not work. That does not help. Okay. Anything else left at minus 22? I don't think so. yeah, the city now is dead and still no rows. Yeah, there's also a ninja here. Oh, no, just this connection. There's already a farmer there.
Oh, not anymore because yellow drew the Dorito.
Right. It's only one curve left. So, yeah, does not work anymore. Okay, then let's just switch. Wow. GD Aruda, let's buy 89-44 against Claudio.
Wow.
I want to see this. Just see what went wrong there. It must be massive and multiple monasteries involved. There's actually just one in the middle.
Yeah, but that's 3 meeples in the road.
4 meeples on the road. Rough. And this year likely try to attack. And as is often the case, if an attack happens on one of the 8 squares around your monastery and does not work, you're suffering, and you're suffering big time more often than not. And in addition, if your opponent then claims a shiny 18-point field, your city gets killed, well, that's reason enough for losing this one. Yeah, now he gets the meeples back, but what to do with 4 meeples if you only have 3 moves left? That's a shame. So this then will be the first one duel for Brazil on table 1. Yeah, HT Bry will lose. That will be the second duel win for Brazil. And how about did I not open sets on Tito? I did not. Then let's do that. But they have more time left than Berna Vineria, so let's go back to these two, where the Chilean needs to win to force a decider and give his team a chance to win this match. If they aren't, or if he isn't successful, then Brazil will win this match.
Very big field fight happening.
Yes, indeed.
He was quite committed. And with 5 curves remaining, I can't imagine Yellow not connecting with the curve.
Oh, I even missed the 4th farmer by Yellow. Let me just highlight them. So we expect a curve over here. And if blue gets the next curve, they actually should place it there just to take the 6 points. Yeah. But this field is currently 21 points plus still more cities in the making. Doesn't look like blue will survive without it.
Yeah. 4 monis is already out, so blue can't really score with them. The problem is the field is so large that even if you get a cap, when you start a city that's not in the field, like at the bottom,
yeah, over
you can't really build a counter field very effectively. So
yeah, it's
also blue is trying something.
Definitely tough. I mean, frankly, yellow should even take the 3-point road now.
Yeah, why not? Or that.
Wow.
Greed a bit more.
Why not? It's greedier, but why not?
Yeah, it's well done because blue with the curve always goes in the middle, so yellow loses as well with curve right now.
Yeah, yellow should connect now. I mean, currently they own this field with 4-0. No, sorry, 4-1 meeples. Just forgot about the one momentarily. Yeah, no question. Just connect. I mean, blue, sure, they could get meeples back. They are still alive, but quite likely they'll just run out of moves before they even manage to try and add 2 more meeples to the field.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, yellow doesn't have to do that. Blue has to connect if they wanna get something done about the field. The thing though is, with this extender, with the shield happening for blue, which was the perfect tile there, as it's only one city and scores you the most due to the shield, they still have a chance to win fieldless. As surprising as this may seem, it still is possible. And due to yellow's meeple being stuck on the road, they only have the one in hand. So this road connection would be a 6-point move to them, and sooner or later, they have to do it.
Yeah, I suppose yellow wanted to have some sort of platform to annoy blue city. That's why they put the curve. And yeah, they also then drew the Dorito and they decided that hindering the road was better, and it seems to be the case. Only one tile now for blue to release the road. Yeah, it's still very tough for blue because yellow can just drop caps in the field without really worrying about them.
Yeah.
And yellow is not like in a very large meeple deficit, especially when they recover the road meeple. So let's see what blue thinks about it.
Yeah,
if they go for the field or not.
Blue had a shot, but unfortunately, they had to place the quad city on their own city, which is a shame, especially when there are still multiple Doritos out there to just close this one.
Yeah, timely quadruple for sure.
Yeah. And then yellow gets 1 cap for 7. And there are still more to come. So they could still add 2 more cities to the field. And let me predict, if yellow gets 2 of the city caps, they'll win for sure. And even if they don't, they should win. Unless blue outdraws them by, for example, getting all the crossroads and curves. The problem then would be for blue finding adequate use for the curves. I mean, one thing is to build this road here, crossroads, but we'll see. There's only one tile to liberate this road, by the way. And
who's going a bit adventurous? They could have built that city a bit more securely, I feel like. Just allowing any field.
The problem is if you go here, this by extension is on yellow's field with 1 curve there. So
yeah, but I mean, you need to close the city, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think the city closes ever, like going this way.
It's definitely.
Actually, I was going to say that yellow had the triple city, and I thought that yellow might even give blue a city point just to really make sure that that city of blue is not closed. Yellow
the
dumps
triple
not
in
that
the middle.
The
on one on the left.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like anywhere there, yellow kind of hindered their own field, which the field is large enough. You don't really need all the queen spaces, but they could have just
Yeah.
made sure that blue doesn't go that city, and now yellow uses like a more valuable tile to do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, still blue is in a tough position. They can't really go through the field.
Yeah, but they still have this setup on the right side. They just need to get a cap, dropping the farmer for 6. Still needing all the curves and crossroads. Problem is, again, the rows they need over here. What the fuck? That's helping blue.
Yeah, that does nothing.
That should rather be placed
Actively
there.
hinders. It's an actual hindrance of the move.
I see you found the jokester in the chat. Good to know. Ika, glad you are still with us.
Yeah, Kaike must have left when
Yeah,
well, before.
he's prone to doing stuff like that. What I meant.
I mean, now look at this. Yellow's getting straight roads, which they can't really use, and then they don't want to deploy the last meeple. And they actually got like a good tile in the crossroads, but they were forced to destroy Blue City instead of getting a meeple back. And now Blue is getting the curves Yellow needs. So I mean, it's looking very doable now.
Yeah. Do you go for the road here?
I mean, maybe you have to know what
Yeah,
else, what other value do you expect to get?
I think so. I mean,
yeah, actually, that's probably the
alternatively, you could claim a 5-point road immediately, but with 2 monasteries still left, you just set it up without a meeple because there's only 1 crossroads left. So, although maybe not, you are only down 1 point, and there's no cap. Well, there is still the rows out there. Yeah,
look at this.
that's an idea. Yeah. That's an idea. And it's a good idea because there are loads of tiles that would restrict this to a 50-50. And you wanna get, you absolutely need to get the rows anyway, snatch the 4 and not allow yellow a 7-point move. So yeah, that quite likely is better, way better actually than going for the road in the middle. So Burner should protect, I think.
Has to protect. I mean, a curve there is 6 points plus a meeple back. It's a move we need to secure. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Sure, this takes away a possible field attack, but come on.
No, there is no field attack happening.
Do you expect your opponent with 6 moves to go to get 2 meeples on your field and connect here? Sorry.
Yeah. No. And now Veneria, I think it's not a 50-50 though. It's a 75. It's a 55% block. It's not very
worse
good.
Because Burner is starting player, so it's more like 20%.
Yeah, it's not good.
For Veneria or 80% for Burner.
Yeah, that's why Veneria is very picky, and I agree for once. I think this is a move.
Yeah. I mean, he has to get some points.
Yellow doesn't defend again. I'm very surprised about this.
Yeah.
They probably are not really seeing that square is quite important for the game.
Yeah, I mean, why would you ever defend a field when you have a 4-1 majority?
Yeah,
I mean, I'd rope in all the opponent's meeples I could get my hands on.
Yeah, the Veneria.
And finally he does.
Veneria held on too long. But this was probably the move. They really... Although now that yellow didn't have any meeple, maybe restricting to the crossroads was better. Just because that cut off the extra points and the tiles. So actually, because yellow didn't have any meeple, I think the restriction was better in this instance, not.
Yeah.
Before it wasn't because yellow had a meeple, but now because yellow did not have a meeple.
Yeah. And also, now that the threat for the rose was gone, I mean, you'd still want to get the rose anyway. So that's basically only the flip for the crossroads left. And just taking these 2 points away could still be decisive. It's not over yet.
I agree. I think like a general rule of thumb, I feel like is you get to be picky once, but if you are picky twice about the blocking tile, you probably won't get it. I just feel like I can grid it out one turn, but then grid it out 2 turns.
Blue could get the rose to snatch the points and the 6-point field if yellow happens to draw the extender in the meantime. But now yellow just took this one away, which is a shame because blue had the perfect piece in hand. So we are at -9. And this
-9 for a meeple.
A 3-point move. -6. There's still a monastery left.
It's not a 3. They didn't want to take the road.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't take the road if there are better options available. The question is, are there? And yeah, there should be, because this road is dead. Whereas you could just pick 3 points instead of the 2 with your second meeple. So that is actually the right choice.
I think actually it comes up to the same because when you're only place.
Why?
Twice
more. If you take 2 points versus 3?
Because they can always place it on their own roads. So that's just 3 points as well, like in the compound of things. Because that road is 2 points they could have claimed immediately, and now they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
if
they got 2 points, now they always get 1.
Yes.
But if they got the Dorito, though, the Dorito was only 2 points. So I think it would have been worse because they had to rebuild the monastery spot, I feel like, with the Dorito.
The Dorito is a shielded one, though. So at least 3 points.
Then I think it's all equal.
It's a wash in the end. The question is, wasn't there a place to build up a monastery? And that's a case for taking this road, because then you could use the strait over here to create a 5-point monastery spot, but even that 5-point spot would not win you the game. There is already one available anyway.
Yeah. Yellow recognizing, well, yellow did not really defend their road on the left, but then they saw that they had to get the city, so.
Yeah.
And they did just in time, so that was a very critical move.
That was indeed the critical move of this game, and it quite likely was the move to win this one.
Yeah, it was to secure it.
Although, if yellow hadn't gotten the extender, but the straight, and blue had gotten the extender for their city and the monastery, it might have still be a different outcome.
Maybe. But I feel like yellow, after they got their curve, They got the
Yeah.
-3 before, and also the other open cap, they cleaned it, so
Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
getting the first -3 in the clean, I don't think Blue had enough. But they were still quite close, 24 points, so
yeah, 4 points in the end. Pretty close.
Yeah, that situation. Yeah, just to last comment, that situation on the left with the road, and yeah, yellow should have defended like 100 out of 100 times, and blue did well not restricting to the crossroads the first time, but I think the second time they had to, just because yellow had no meeples. And yellow got the meeple back and then used it to meeple on this city, so like yellow got a lot of compound value from releasing immediately that roads.
And it looks like sets on Tito Arce will be done in a few seconds, and that would then conclude this game. And with this game, the match as well. And then I might check whether Argentina and Sweden are still playing, because this year only took an hour to complete, which is rather quickly, which is to be expected from Brazil. But I would have hoped for a longer match. So in this one, Setson won a close one.
I see a big field, and I see yellow winning the big field. It's in the history of the game.
Yeah.
But only by 2 points, so.
Yeah. 2 points are 2 points. 2 points are enough in the end. And there's also this one here, which did not make its way into the field, and quite likely blue had a shot at connecting up top, quite likely with this crossroad, which got into yellow's hands. And there were more crossroads available even, so
yeah.
Although maybe, I don't know. Yeah, there had to be more crossroads available, because this year quite likely was this one, and then there were still 4 crossroads to connect. Which is a shame that it didn't happen, but that's the case. So let's take a quick look at the standings in this group as well. Would you still be interested in checking out Argentina, Sweden, if they are still running?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, then let's get to the standings. So Brazil won a 4-1 with a game score of 8-4. Preserves their quite significant lead on in Group G, currently with 9-1 dual wins and 18-5 game wins. And they have beaten arguably their strongest opponent in Chile, although they haven't played Belgium yet, so we'll see. And Colombia might be able to beat Brazil as well, but overall, I definitely favor them to take down the first place, which would guarantee them a playoff berth and a round of 16 berth, actually. Whereas second and third place finishers in the group have to play in the round of 24. So then let's check whether Sweden and Argentina are still playing, and they aren't. They are done. So Helge won on table. Actually, let me show you. That makes more sense. I wanted to directly copy the lineups, but there's no need to if the game is over.
Yeah,
so
it's already updated.
Yeah, Helge won on table 5, and then the other hope that Sweden had was Modig Fruktsamlare on table 1, but where we seemingly eked out a close one in the second. And on all other duels, the Argentinians were the heavy favorites, and looks like they made good on it. I mean, winning the second one by, what is it, an average of 30 points or 25 points, seems like a rather easy affair for Argentina. And Argentina is group, I don't know. Let's try to
It's
find
my
them.
group, so it's group B.
B, okay. Yeah, actually, I mentioned this earlier because it's the same as you've said, Portugal and Japan, which we witnessed earlier. So in this group, well, Japan still the favorite. I mean, all it takes to win a group is win every match, and even if it's by a close 3-2 score, doesn't matter.
That's for sure.
So if they win next week's match against Argentina, they definitely have secured the first place, as I don't see anything happen against Sweden. And even if so, might still be enough, but we'll see. So that's then it for now. Hey, Bernardo. And later on, I will cover UK versus Latvia with co-host Nullaheim. And if timing permits, maybe a few endgames of United States, Poland as well. For Spain, Ecuador, you'd have to rely on, I think that's Fauba. So maybe Glovia does, because he does speak Portuguese, of course. I don't. I won't cover this. And sadly, Alexi can't cover anything today. And for next week, you have to rely on Alexi and Nullaheim, because I'll be offline. I won't cover anything for week 3, but I'll be back in week 4. So thanks to Glovia for coming on to chime
Thanks
in.
to you for having me.
Yeah, always, as you know, if
Yeah.
you have the time, you're always welcome. And same goes for basically everyone out there. Unless I've already set up a co-host, I'd welcome anyone to shoot the breeze with while watching a bit of Carcassonne. Preferably, of course, someone who knows their stuff, but I'd rather have a co-host than none at all, no matter your experience. So if you'd be interested, let me know. If not, let me know what you think of this stuff here, and what you like, what you don't. I'd really love a bit more feedback than I got so far. So thanks, guys. I'll see you around for UK, Latvia, and don't miss this one, because there will be a rematch, the ever interesting
nice one.
rematch between Matt Tucker and Alexei Begoshev's happening, and you won't like to miss that. That will be hopefully a pretty great and interesting match. So see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.